nice pale-faced Swiss ballad to kickstart Peach's Pit Party. Everything is fine. Indeed today. It's Tuesday, January 6th, 2026. Hope you are doing well. I was reading an update here of that whole Mickey Rourke situation. You know, yesterday during the tail end of my show, I talked about how there was a GoFundMe set up for Mickey Rourke to avoid eviction from his Los Angeles home. Supposedly, he was behind like $60,000 on rent. This GoFundMe had a goal to raise $100,000, and I think it met its goal, but Mickey Rourke today just publicly denounced the fundraiser, calling it humiliating, embarrassing, not something he would ever authorize, even though yesterday multiple outlets said that this whole thing had Mickey Rourke's blessing. So he emphatically stated he would never ask fans for charity. In this weird Instagram video, you should see his outfit he's wearing. He's wearing a bright pink shirt, cowboy hat. He's holding a dog. He said he was unaware of the campaign and urged people not to donate, asking anyone who already did to try to get refunds. So there's that whole update. If you want to get a hold of me, you can over at 208-535-1015. Later this afternoon, I'll be giving away another pair for Ghost, a pair of tickets to go see Ghost live at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City on February 10th. You'll have to listen for that cue to call, and then I'll play a lyric that was narrated by Josh or Chantel from Wake Up Classy 97. You have to be caller 20, guess that song correctly in order to win those tickets for Ghost at the Delta Center. The Skeletor World Tour should be a fantastic show, and Peach's Pit Party will continue here in just a few on K-Bear 101. All right, I'm going to preface this real quick because I already know how people get. I don't do politics on this show, not my lane, not my thing. This isn't that. This is one of those stories where something serious happens in the world and the internet immediately focuses on the dumbest possible detail. So there's a photo that comes out. It's a major, heavy international news moment, and within minutes, people online completely ignore the gravity of what's going on and instead go, hold on, is that a Nike tech fleece? You know what I'm talking about? The president of Venezuela getting captured and brought back to the U.S. That Nike tech fleece that he's wearing in that picture, that became the conversation. Not the headline, not the context, not the situation, just thousands of people squinting at their screens like, wait a second, those are the same sweatpants I wear to Target. And of course, because the internet has the attention span of a goldfish, it turns into memes, jokes, screenshots, side-by-sides, people asking what colorway it is, where you can buy it, if it's the new season drop or last year's. Imagine explaining that sentence to someone in 1995. The president of Venezuela got captured and everyone's trying to go to Nike's website to buy the tech fleece jumpsuit that he's wearing. Pretty funny. Here's some Pussifer self-evident on K-Bear 101. The spirit of Blockbuster is somehow still alive, just significantly smaller. If you're trying to cut back on those very expensive streaming services, there's a thing popping up around the country called Free Blockbuster. It's inspired by those little free libraries that you see in neighborhoods, except instead of books, it's movies. They're basically tiny, shrunken-down Blockbuster stores about the size of a newspaper box, painted blue and yellow, stocked with old DVDs and VHS tapes. You just walk up, take a movie, return it when you're done, or swap it with something else you've got lying around at home. No membership card, no late fees, no employee asking if you want to sign up for rewards, which is the best part. The only catch is, of course, you need a DVD player or a VCR, which means this whole thing might also double as a test of how old your house is. Still kind of amazing, though, in that in the year of 1,000 streaming apps, we've somehow circled back to here's a movie in a box, bring it back when you're done. So our sister channel, Z103, they have this really cool contest going on with Mountain View Hospital. They're serving up Mama's Munchies, the Pregnancy Craving Showdown. If you're an expecting mom-to-be, if you're an expecting mother, I don't know why I keep saying expecting mom-to-be. If you are a mom-to-be or an expecting mother, and you've been loving this weird, wonderful, maybe totally unexpected food combo, you snap a photo of that food combo, add a quick description, and enter through the Z103 app. Each week, the wildest cravings will be featured on air and on social media Listeners will then vote for their favorites, and the top 5 cravings will be recreated by Katie Lee, the brand ambassador of Z103, to test out. The big reward is that one expecting mom will win a full nursery setup. You know how expensive those things can be. You got to have the crib. You got to have a whole bunch of crap. And also, not only that, but there will also be a professional newborn photo shoot because you need one of those, right? One expecting mom winning a full nursery setup and a professional newborn photo shoot just by simply sharing their weird pregnancy cravings. Show off those cravings. Enter Mama's Munchies now with Mountain View Hospital and our sister channel, Z103. Again, it's through our sister channel's app, Z103. It's Peach's Pit Party right here on K-Bear 101 with I Prevail into Hell. The tradition of Black Monday in the NFL, where teams fire their coaches after bad seasons, continued yesterday as the Arizona Cardinals fired Jonathan Gannon after 3 seasons, the Las Vegas Raiders fired Pete Carroll after 1 season, and the Cleveland Browns dismissed 2-time NFL Coach of the Year Kevin Stefanski. Oh boy, how do you say that last name? Stefanski? Is that it? After 6 seasons, with the Atlanta Falcons dismissing Raheem Morris after 2 seasons on Sunday, and the New York Giants and Tennessee Titans firing their coaches during the season, that leaves 6 head coaching jobs open out of the 32. New York Jets head coach Aaron Glenn did keep his job after the team went 3-14 this season, and Glenn's first season was a historic low on defense, especially for a team coached by a 3-time Pro Bowl defensive back. The Jets went the entire 17-game season without grabbing an interception, becoming the first team to do so since the NFL first started tracking interceptions as a stat back in 1933. The 2018 San Francisco 49ers was the previous record holder with just 2 picks. Football fans who don't listen to the national broadcast play-by-play and color guys have a very personal relationship with their local broadcast teams. It seems, according to the latest survey from Awful Announcing, that not all local broadcast teams are created equal. Here's a rundown of the 5 broadcast teams most beloved by their fan bases. You got the Green Bay Packers at number 1, Arizona Cardinals 2, New York Jets 3, Philadelphia Eagles 4, Detroit Lions 5. The bottom 5, Las Vegas Raiders at 28, New England Patriots at 29, Tennessee Titans at 30, Jacksonville Jaguars at 31, and dead last, Miami Dolphins at number 32. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update. All about football today, right here on K-Bear 101. Speaking of curses, I saw one of those posts on Facebook, you know, one of those stereotypical things where it's like, hey, look up the number 1 movie back when you were 10 years old, and that'll determine how 2026 is going to go for you. That's what the thing said. So I was curious. I fell for it. You know, everyone falls for those posts. I looked up what was the number 1 movie in 2006. I was 10 years old in 2006. I know, such a baby. But I'm kind of worried about what the number 1 movie is. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. I just focused on the Dead Man's Chest part because it had me thinking, it had me immediately go to, oh no, I've had AFib issues. Is this predicting that I'll die this year? I hope not. And I got all freaked out at my place. I even told my girlfriend about it. She kind of just laughed at me. She didn't really laugh, but she kind of was just like, yeah, right. You know, 2006, number 1 movie, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. All right. If you want to do the same stupid thing I did, look up the number 1 movie when you were 10 years old, and that's how your supposed new year is going to go. More than 100 people gathered in a park in Glasgow this weekend, not for a concert, not for a rally, not even for a sporting event. They just showed up to watch someone take a full force kick to a very specific area. According to reports, the crowd formed just to witness this one moment with people standing around, phones out, watching as someone volunteered to get absolutely folded by a running kick. No stage, no prize, no nothing. That's kind of the wild part. Nobody was confused about why they were there. Everyone knew what they came to see. And apparently that was enough to draw a crowd. It's one of those stories that makes you realize people will gather for just about anything, as long as it's outside and slightly uncomfortable for somebody else. Because in a world with concerts, movies, professional sports, sometimes the main event is just one really bad decision in a public park. There's a very odd new art installation making noise down at Art Basel. How do you say it? Art Basel in Miami Beach this year. It's called Regular Animals. And yes, despite the name, it's not your average petting zoo. The exhibit is basically a bunch of robotic dog-like machines, each fitted with a hyper-realistic silicone head that looks like someone you might recognize. Tech figures, famous artists, even the artist who made the whole thing. These robots roam around a pen with cameras built in, snapping pictures of whatever's around them. Then the machines send those images through an AI system, which processes them into new stylized prints. Once that's done, each robot dispenses those prints from its back end on little cards, some of which are being turned into collectible digital tokens, like on the blockchain, all that tech nerd crap. Some of the robots are styled to reflect the personality or creative vibe of the person whose face they wear. One might make more geometric or abstract images, another looks more digital or metaverse inspired. I believe one of them is Mark Zuckerberg, and so on. The whole thing is meant to, of course, raise eyebrows, make people think about how much technology and artificial intelligence shape what we see and how we see it. One hippie down in Florida just thought of this, was like, this is a great idea. And sure enough, it's gaining national attention, how much influencers or influence big figures in big tech have on our visual culture. It's weird. It's funny. I think it's pretty cool. I wanted to talk about it because if you look up one of these dogs, it is funny just to see Elon Musk's head on a robotic dog's body. Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. Here's a headline that somehow trips over itself in the first 5 words. A court case in Ireland this week described a man as a good father with an alcohol problem, which bold choice of words considering what the court then heard next, because according to prosecutors, this so-called good father is accused of violently losing control during a drunken incident that involved his wife and their infant, the kind of accusations that immediately land someone in front of a judge with strict bail conditions, zero tolerance moving forward. And that's where the headline gets weird, because I don't know who needs to hear this, but once a story reaches the point where a judge is talking about child safety, restraining orders, and passport surrender, we may want to retire the phrase good father from the opening sentence. The court did what courts do, emphasized presumption of innocence, laid out serious restrictions, and made it clear that when a child is involved, there's no margin for error. But that headline really tried to multitask. It's like saying local man described as a great driver moments before crashing the car. All right, so let me explain this one properly, because this is one of my favorite unhinged internet theories that refuses to die. There's a running theory online called the Pentagon Pizza Index. The idea is that every time something big, serious, or world-changing is about to happen, pizza orders around the Pentagon mysteriously skyrocket. People have been tracking this for years. Anytime there's a late-night briefing, an emergency meeting, or something heavy about to drop, suddenly every pizza place within delivery distance of the Pentagon is slammed. Phones ringing off the hook, apps lighting up, extra drivers called in, extra cheese deployed. And this week it happened again. According to reports, pizza shops near the Pentagon saw a sudden surge in orders right before a major announcement was made, and the internet immediately went, yes, the pizzas have spoken. Because think about it. If you're stuck at work late under pressure, probably not allowed to leave, and whatever you're dealing with isn't exactly a quick meeting, what do you order? You don't order salad. You don't order a sushi. You don't order sushi. You order pizza, right? I think this whole thing happened because, there was that whole capture of the Venezuela president. There was that. There was multiple pizza orders ordered before that. It's a crazy theory, but I think it's true. The Pentagon Pizza Index, if you don't really know about it, look into it. All right, so I saw this fun thread on Reddit. What is something that is technically legal but makes you look like a total jerk if you do it? Picking up something hot or cold at the grocery store, deciding you don't want it, and leaving it to spoil somewhere. I myself, I will go back. No matter how far away I am from that particular part of the store, I will certainly go back and put it back. I feel like karma is going to get me if I don't put it back in its right spot, especially if it's like something from the refrigerator. How awful that would be. You leave like a pack of raw bacon just right there in one of the aisles and just sits there. Doom scrolling with your speaker volume up on public transportation. You're just a pest at that point. not letting people exit on a train or bus before entering, basically pushing the way through the people that try to get out. Yeah, you're just a D-bag at that point. Internet pranks. It sucks that these jerks can go into Walmart, mess with people minding their own business, and then humiliate them on the internet with pretty much no repercussions. I saw this one video. I forgot exactly who it was. This guy thought it would be funny to dress up as a Walmart executive. He was wearing a suit, and he was pretending to be this highfalutin guy that's in charge of Walmart. He walks up to one of the employees, and this one girl, man, I feel bad for her just even watching the video. He says, hey, you're just fired. Get out of here. Like, take off that vest right now. Give it to me. Go to the back and clock out and leave. And you're never coming back. And this girl, like, she's kind of weary, but she's also, you can see the fear in her eyes. And it's just hard to watch. I mean, those pranks are not funny. I was laughing at one that was kind of bad, though. I was laughing at this one where this guy rode a horse into Target. And, you know, the Target security at that store, he was taking his job way too seriously. He started running after the guy on the horse. And the horse went to the bathroom down one of the main aisles. So, of course, they have every right to be upset. And I was laughing at it. But luckily, everyone in the comment section, too, was also talking about how it was not cool to have that horse just, you know, use the restroom right there in the store because they got to clean it up. And now it smells like horse business all up in there. There was another answer that I saw that I thought was absolutely hysterical, talking about how it's not illegal whatsoever to print out all of someone's social media photos and stick them all over your house. There's no law against that, but you'd better believe your friends and neighbors would have thoughts. It's time for What the Headline, and this one feels like it escaped from a Mad Libs book, a music store in Morristown, Tennessee. Cleaning up a huge mess after a runaway monkey broke in and trashed the place. According to police, a small cinnamon capuchin monkey somehow got loose. Decided its first stop of freedom was a music shop. Officers got the call around 8 in the morning saying there was a monkey sprinting around the store, knocking things over, damaging instruments. By the time animal control showed up, the monkey had already dipped because, of course, it did. This thing was in and out. Police spent the entire day tracking it down. They finally caught the monkey later that night at a completely different location, which means this monkey had a full day of adventures before getting caught. And then it somehow gets better. A licensed primate keeper told investigators the monkey may have actually been stolen from a farm in Alabama before ending up in Tennessee. So now this isn't just a monkey story. This is an interstate monkey situation. Somewhere in Alabama, there's a farm missing a monkey. And somewhere in Tennessee, there's a music store explaining to insurance why a capuchin monkey wrecked their inventory. That's today's What the Headline right here on K-Bear 101. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.